Finding the volume of a pyramid and a cone is pretty much the same thing. They both are 3D shapes with one base, and they all meet up at one point. So let's just start off with the pyramid. In the last video, I talked about some vocabulary words. We had something called the vertex, which is the very top point, and then we had something called the base. It only has one base. Something called the height, which is the segment that connects that vertex to the base, and it's also going to form a right angle. And then we have something called the slant height, which is kind of like the height of one of the faces, not the height of the prism necessarily. Well, the good thing is we don't need to know about the slant height to find the volume. Yay! The other good thing is you have a formula sheet that contains the formula for volume of a pyramid and of a cone. And the formula for a pyramid is 1/3 length times width, or the dimensions of the base, times the height. So 1/3 area of the base times the height. We're going to write it like this because we're not going to be dealing with just square and rectangular pyramids. We're going to be dealing with those regular polygon bases. So let's just do a quick example. Let's say that this has a dimensions of 3 feet and 2.5 feet and a height of 7 feet. Okay, so to find the volume, it's just 1/3. To find the area of this base, it's 3 by 2.5, because it's a rectangle, we're going to say. And then the height is 7. And you just type it all in the calculator. Okay, and that gives us 17.5 feet cubed, because volume is in cubic feet. It's the same thing for a cone, the same exact formula, except for this time the formula to find area of the base is really pi r squared, because it's a circle. And that makes a lot of sense if you look at the formula chart. 1/3 pi r squared h. So let's just do a quick example of finding the area of a cone. Let's say that my radius is 9 inches. My height is 5 inches. I don't need to do Pythagorean theorem because I don't care about the slant height here. So 1/3 pi, my radius again was 9, and my height was 5, and I'm just going to type that all in my calculator. It's 135 pi for the exact answer, or approximately 424.12 inches cubed. So let's now try a slightly harder one. Let's say that I have a hexagonal base, and I want to find the volume of this pyramid. It's supposed to be a pyramid. Let's just act like it looks like one. Okay. I'm going to give you some numbers. Let's say it's a regular hexagonal base, and the sides are 7, and the height of my prism is 9 inches or something. Okay. So the first thing is, remember the volume is 1/3 area of the base times the height. Well, good. We have the height, 9. Hey, look, we're almost done with the formula. We have one more thing to fit in, right? Okay, so we need to find that area of the base. Remember, there was different ways to find the area of a hexagon. I told y'all I would like you to pick one way and just keep doing that. What I like to do is I like to start by drawing my center point, dividing it into a bunch of triangles, which means I need to find my central angle. How do I find my central angle again? I take 360 degrees, divide it by 6. So my central angle here is 60 degrees. And then from here, you can solve it a lot of different ways. Y'all like to split it, which means you have a nice, beautiful right triangle where the bottom is half of the side length, so 3.5. And then that angle is half of our central angle, so 30 degrees. And you've been liking to solve for the apothem. I'm just going to use right triangle trig since I have a right triangle. Tangent of 30 degrees equals opposite over adjacent. In order to get rid of the a out of the bottom, I'm going to multiply by a on both sides. So now I have a tangent of 30 degrees equals 3.5. In order to get tangent away from a, I'm going to divide by tangent of 30 degrees. The reason why I'm writing it out is so that I type it in my calculator correctly. So I'm going to type in 3.5 first, then divided by, then tangent of 30, making sure I'm in the right mode, degree mode. Otherwise, this is not going to come out correctly. And I get 6.06. But that's not right, right? That's not the area of my base. That is my apothem. So how do I find the area of this shape again? In order to find the area of a regular polygon, there is a formula that you don't have to memorize for me, and that was A equals 1/2 apothem times perimeter. So that means 1/2 that 6.06 times, and the perimeter of a 6-sided figure that each side is 7 is 6 times 7, so that's 42. So the area of the base is 1/2 6.06 times 42. Which is about 127.31. Okay, so I'm going to multiply it by 9, divide by 3, and I get a total volume of 381.92. I guess I said it was inches cubed.